everybody. Welcome to this edition of The Great Franchisee. We're here today with Brian Braggs from Bright at Home. He's in Peoria, Illinois. Welcome, Brian.
Thanks for having me today.
I'm so glad for you to be here. So, tell us about your personal story. What did you do before franchising, and how did you decide that something like this made sense to you?
So thanks for asking. So I used to be an owner and operator of a pediatric therapy practice out of the Chicagoland area, and it grew to 17 counties over the last 15 years. And a couple years between that, I ended up selling it and then tried to decide on what I was going to do next. And as I started to look at my why, I interviewed with a couple of consulting brokerage firms that were looking for consultants to do franchising. So I started doing franchising over that small space between 2 years until now, and decided I missed home health. And in the home health practice we were working with pediatrics versus geriatrics, and we're providing speech language pathology, physical therapy, occupational therapy. 90% of that service being provided in the home, and then the balance of that was in the school system. Um, I missed home health, and so I started looking and investigating home health, and came across Right at Home, and here I am today.
Okay, so you're saying that you missed home health. I don't remember anyone ever saying that before. So tell me about this passion that you have for the elderly and people that are in need in this home health sphere, and why right at home was the way you wanted to go.
Yeah, so early on in my early days of development as a child, every summer I would go to my grandparents' house in Mississippi, and I would be on their farm with them. And obviously, as seniors, they needed a lot of help around the farm, around the house, light cleaning. And then eventually, my grandmother got sick, and she ended up having diabetes, and she lost one of her lower extremities, and so she lost a part of her leg. So I had to help her around the house with cleaning and grocery shopping and, a lot of things like laundry and that sort of thing. And eventually my grandfather got sick. And so then as a teenager, I had to live there with them and went to school there in Mississippi. And I started helping him. In his level of care, he needed help with transitioning from the bed to the toilet, some toileting. He needed help with some hygiene, some oral care. He needed help with dressing. He needed help with ambulating, and all these things. As a teenager, you're thinking, "Oh, I'm just helping granddad." Well, eventually, I went back to Chicago, and my mom was in charge of senior care at her church, and so obviously, as her son, I would just go with her after church to visit all these nursing homes, independent care, skill facilities, and we would sing songs and we would play games with them. And so, as you can see, early on in life, spending time with my grandparents, and then as a teenager being with my mom, I've been exposed to basically caring for the elderly or caring for seniors or those who are homebound,
Mhm.
even in my early days, and then eventually in my adult life. Um, we ended up starting a home healthcare franchise, not franchise, but a private practice for pediatrics and providing, these different therapy services for kids. And then, as I stated just recently, I missed that care part of the home health piece and wanted to return back to that. And then that brought me to Right at Home.
So the value, right, of keeping seniors and those who are homebound home and not putting them in a facility. So why right at home? What made you choose this company? Because there are a lot of companies out there that you could have gone
Mhm. Yeah, after looking at some of the top brands, Comfort Care, Home Helpers, Comfort Keepers, Bright Star, and then Right at Home, those are the top brands that I was looking at. And what happened was, Right at Home had a lot of the things that really felt closely related to me. One, they had the availability and the territory space. And then after being in franchise consulting for a couple of years, I did some additional research. Plus, one of my clients actually invested in it right at home as well. So I had a lot of inside trader information, if you will. But right at home, really, as a veteran, Army veteran, they also gave back to the military population, which was also a very attractive piece to me. 25% off the franchise fee was very enticing. So, but all the people there were very, very nice. And the fact that a lot of the territory with other brands were sold out in the other areas of the Chicagoland area, right at home had a perfect territory right here in central Illinois in Peoria.
That's wonderful. And so, what are your hopes and dreams for this business in your area? And what makes you stand out as a local business owner?
Well, I do feel as a veteran, I want to give back to the veteran population. And I just learned last month that the clinic here in Peoria sees about 10,000 veterans per year. There's about 65 seniors across three counties in this area as well. And so the opportunity to serve those who are homebound that have an illness or injury or they're disabled or a veteran, I can actually provide those services to them based on my background, education, experience, and also being a veteran.
Okay, so talk to us a little bit about your veteran status. How long were you in, and where did you serve, and what was your rank, and all of that?
So I was in the United States Army almost 9 years. Ended up having a combat discharge, honorable discharge, but it was a great experience for me. And if it had not been for the Army, I don't know where I'd be today. Honestly, growing up on the South Side of Chicago, a kid in a single parent home, my father and mom separated when I was 3 years old, and he unfortunately passed away when I was seven. It was a lot of challenges in the community of the city of Chicago and struggles and challenges that I had to deal with. And if it had not been for the Army, I don't know where I'd be today. So they helped me with all my leadership capabilities and my ability to have stick to itiveness and to work hard and to focus on the mission. And so I'm just grateful for them and grateful for the opportunity to serve my country.
Well, we're grateful for you. So thank you for your service. Tell us what your hopes and dreams are for this business. What would you like to achieve, and what are your plans for growth?
So one of the things I like to achieve is just being able to provide the service that is definitely needed in the Peoria marketplace. There are several home health care agencies in the area, but I think Right at Home has a unique recipe in that they literally provide the tools, the training, and the technology, and they also provide the mentorship. And I think with my background in education, growing up on the South Side of Chicago, early on in my life, being able to learn how to take care for seniors with my grandparents, and then learning how to provide service to them in independent living facilities and skilled nursing facilities, and also with my pediatric home health care background, I think those pieces, along with my VA and military experience, will help me to provide a competitive advantage for those clients that I serve in the area.
That's really wonderful. And I'm so glad to hear your story because there aren't many kids from the south side of Chicago that will end up in service the way that you have. So, congratulations,
Thank you.
truly. Well, we wish you the best of luck and we appreciate you being with us today. And of course, if there's anything we can ever do, we would be happy to do it for you.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.